Hey guys, today I want to take a look at this new space mission set from the modern Diaclone line from Takara Tomy. I keep wanting to call it New Diaclone, but the reboot started 10 years ago now, so this line has already lasted twice as long as the original, which ran roughly from 1980 to 85. I've covered a few Diaclone sets on the channel, including their Battle Convoy and Robot Base sets, but it's been a little while since then, and so I wanted to show it some more love. Diaclone is fairly unique in that it ranges from these insanely large and complex figures that can be like $1,000 and up, or they have these cool little sets like this one, which is about $50. And almost everything is compatible in some sense, as it's all tied to the 1:60 scale. In an earlier video, I think I described the modern Diaclone line as Transformers meets Lego meets Gundam. That's not quite right. I think the true appeal of Diaclone is that it combines elements of Lego, Transformers and Gundam into something quite distinct. Like Lego, it's built around modularity, encouraging you to reconfigure parts, combine machines and create your own vehicles, robots and bases. Like Transformers, the toys are packed with transformation sequences, hidden compartments, and satisfying mechanical gimmicks. And like Gundam, the line has a highly detailed, militaristic science fiction aesthetic, complete with pilots, support vehicles, and specialized combat roles. What really sets Diaclone apart though is the sense that everything belongs to the one interconnected 1:60 scale world. The figures, vehicles, cockpits, chambers, bases, and giant robots are designed to work together. So collecting the line feels less like buying individual action figures and more like gradually building your own science fiction army. One of the reasons I shy away from covering more Diaclone is just how open this playability is. I'm someone who likes to try and show you every aspect of a toy, to try and give you a definitive experience of what you get and what it can do. With Diaclone, the more sets and pieces you have, the more possibilities you have for creativity to build unique spaceships and robots and bases and all that kind of stuff. This makes what I try to do exponentially harder. This particular set though really just struck me as charming, similar to the way you can get those little Lego car sets for like $5 or $10, and they're super simple but also a ton of fun. It also really reminds me of the Alpha Star Moon Rover playset from my childhood, so I think it just taps into that part of my brain to make me happy, and I figured some others might enjoy it too. So the full name of this is Diaclone D Vehicles Set 8 Space Mission. Unsurprisingly, it sits in the D Vehicles subline, which has been going I guess a couple of years and consists of fairly entry-level price sets that focus on transport. Cars, buggies, small ships, that sort of thing. As the components are fairly straightforward, the front of the box does a great job of telling you exactly what you get inside, and it's a fantastic little playset with a few different elements. Even though it's relatively small, having those few elements gives you a lot of different combinations, and the back of the box helps to illustrate that creative possibility. Cracking the box open, the set looks even more substantial, with all the separate elements nicely laid out. There's some parts still on runners, which is something Takara Tomy have been doing for a while now in the Diaclone line. I don't mind it when it's just a few things like this set, but some of the bigger, more expensive sets sometimes come with a large proportion of components still to be clipped from their runners, and personally, I'm not a big fan of it. But as I say, this set, fine. You also get a nice double-sided glossy booklet, an instruction sheet for the primary modes, and a decal, or decal, sheet with the numbers 0 to 4 for you to customize potentially larger groups of vehicles. If it's your sort of thing, Diaclone really suits world building, and there's definitely folks that are picking up, 4 or 5 or more of these guys to create entire squadrons or battalions or whatever the appropriate term is. So the main bits we get in the box are the Moon Rover, known as the Orbiter Vehicle 2, the Shuttle Pod, known as the Comhead 3, the storage container, called the Cosmo Chamber, 3 Dianaut pilots, and the tank loader, which is this group of fuel cell type things. Taking a look at the Orbiter vehicle, this is a recolor of the utility vehicle that first appeared in the Agres Vesalta Daedalus unit figure. But this time, it's in this great blue-grey color, and it's also been significantly retooled. There's this aerial on one side, and the passenger cabin has a lot more detail at the top. Additionally, Takara Tomy have taken the time to revise the panel molding and add this small metallic painting detail. So you have the aerial, and then these 2 big cannons that rotate up also. The cabin opens at the front and fits 2 Dianaut pilots comfortably. The rear door opens, but there's no specific brief on what you put in here. It's a great space for storing some adapters and stuff, but it can definitely also accommodate a fair few Waruda corpses. The 6 wheels give it a great rugged look, and they can rotate inwards like the Back to the Future DeLorean to become hover jets. In terms of customization, you have a 3mm port on either side of the body, and this slot at the back, which we'll take a look at when we get to the tank loader. Moving to the Comhead 3, I'm surprised that they class this as a Comhead, as looking at the other 2 in the series so far, released in vehicles set 6 and 7 respectively, they're very functional looking, quite square with a lot of aerials and stuff, perfect for support utility units. The Comhead 3 is completely different in design and color, much more suited to a sleek spaceship than a forklift. Like all bullet cores, you get a 4mm and a 3mm port on either side, then a 4mm at the rear and another at the bottom. A unique feature of the Comhead 3 is that the orange back panel slides up, allowing the nose to sit lower than most bullet cores. Although on a Versalta frame, the body prevents you from doing so. The tank loader is a really fun and interesting piece. You've got these 4 two-tone cylinders that get sandwiched between the frame, and then there's these really detailed silver boosters at the rear. These come off so you can use them on anything with a compatible port. However, note that 2 are male posts and 2 are female ports, so it's not as straightforward. There's also 4 feet that you can rotate out so that it stands up slightly. At the front is a standard bullet core mount, so the Comhead fits nicely. But the Diaclone bullet core system is universal, so you can literally put any bullet core from any other set from the past 7 or so years on there. There's also this peg folded in to connect the orbiter vehicle. Just fold the peg out and it slides into the top of the orbiter between the cannons, with a nice firm friction hold. Small details like this show how tight the tolerances are in the Diaclone line. Everything just fits really well, usually without being too firm or too loose. The last major mechanical component of the set is the Cosmo Chamber. This is just a recolor variant of the load chamber that's been in the line for a few years now, but it's a great combination of the tan and orange. And rather than the wheel rails you get with the load chamber, you get these 4 feet that can spin up to retract. But being the same mold as the load chamber, you can interchange the wheels if you want to, and it connects to load chambers in all the same ways. I'm not sure if they will be a standard Cosmo Chamber piece or a specific to this set, as it's the first appearance, but you also get these rotatable thruster wings with gold painted detail. The Cosmo and load chamber come with all sorts of attachments to allow you to affix and store a wide range of Diaclone machines, from smaller vehicles like the Valhound and Orbiter vehicle to the bikes and small planes like the Heliscout, and even bullet cores. Both orange sides remove and allow you to store a lot of the attachments inside. And lastly, you get a great assortment of 3 silver Dianaut pilots, a blue and orange male soldier, and the female soldier in hot pink pants. Most of the mech sets only come with 1 pilot nowadays, so the D vehicle sets are a great opportunity to build up your Diaclone infantry. So that's the main components. Let's take a look at how they can fit together. So with the Comhead 3 being a bullet core, it's really designed to attach to other things. Here we can either mount it onto the tank loader and you can have this really cool light looking spaceship, or you can plug it into the Cosmo Chamber, where it looks best pushed down so the front sits lower. You can then store the tank loader inside the Cosmo Chamber for this awesome space cargo carrier look. The orbiter vehicle too can take the tank loader also, as mentioned earlier. Then I think it sits best with the wheels rotated into hover mode, as though it's in flight. So despite me saying that this is a relatively cheap set at $50, I understand that it doesn't seem much in the context of a standard toy line like you'd find on the shelf of your local Kmart, and it's not. Plus, if you're in the US, you have to pay a lot of tariffs and taxes, which will make it an $80 or $90 toy. But hopefully you can see that there's actually a lot in this set. Not just in terms of components, but also playability, engineering, and manufacturing. The grade of plastics used are all premium and quite durable. The tolerances are perfect. Every panel has a lot of molded detail, and there's great painted highlights. All in all, there's a huge amount of care and passion in these toys, from the dedicated team at Takara Tomy T-Spark. Okay, so that's the Diaclone D Vehicles Set 8 Space Mission. I really hope you enjoyed taking a look at this set, and for anyone that's been on the fence about trialing the Diaclone line, I think this would be a great low investment first step to see if you're into it. If you do want to see me cover more of the current Diaclone line, let me know with a comment, especially if there's a specific set or figure that you're keen to see. Thanks as always, and see you next time.